So, courtesy of My Ninja Gaming, we got some confessions to make first and foremost. Now, y'all done probably heard it before, but Big Daddy Kurt likes to refer to himself as a snack on occasion.
On the snack. Oh, I see where you're going.
And sometimes on occasion I likes to get in and help out and, consider myself the meat and potatoes. Because everybody got to have the meat and potatoes. And right after that, you're going to find that snack. Hell, sometimes the snack go before the meat and potatoes. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, this is a brand new segment between chocolate and vanilla. And this is entitled, courtesy of My Ninja Gaming and the Seoul Dojo, if I may. Welcome to the first episode of Full Course Meal.
Full Course Meal.
I like it.
I like it too.
Got a nice ring to it.
I do. I really do like it. I think everybody, when they're watching, they're gonna get full. They're gonna get stuffed. It's right, like Thanksgiving.
As soon as they get done laughing at the ridiculous. So all right, man. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. What a game.
Oh my goodness, really?
What a game. I done died more times than See?
Don't worry about that.
See, it's the bullshit. So I done died more times than I done kept up with. 2 people sick. They got HIV.
A new kind of HIV called Dragon Rot.
Yeah, Edo Tensai HIV called Dragon Rot.
Yeah.
And my scope over there coughing on all this wood.
Oh my goodness.
I got an old lady who just can't keep her hands still no more.
That is true.
So there's that. But overall, other than that, what a game, dog.
I think From Software has done another amazing job right next to Bloodborne when it comes to this game.
With better graphics.
With a little bit, better. Definitely
a little bit better. So, man, right off the bat, what do we talk? We talking just from start to finish, or we just talking all in?
Yeah, definitely our experience with Bloodborne. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice.
So I'll tell y'all my first start to the game. Right, I get up, I jump to the walls, I start the wall hug, I hide in the grass, I get discovered.
Oh,
with no weapon.
Let's talk about the stealth then. How was that work?
Stealth is I'm still kind of getting used to stealth, and because it's not some. All right, so playing Skyrim, right? You can't just go sneaking off like full course walking through a full sneak early because you will get discovered, right? Yeah. Especially if you went heavy armor. In this game, you can do that. You can do that, and you will not get seen, or they won't turn around unless, of course, you got seen. Yeah. But in this game, sneaking for me is I'm starting to get used to it now. My assassinations I'm starting to get a little bit more smooth with it, with my transitions and things like that.
But like you're saying, like there's no sneak perk.
Yeah, there's no sneaking perk. It's like once you sneak, you sneak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It don't matter how fast you go. It's probably better for you to go faster. You do not want to go slow because at that point you can get discovered. That's how I got discovered. Yeah. Because he walked up and I kind of eased back and then I kind of stood there because I'm like, Skyrim, I'm just standing here. He will never see me if I move. Motherfucker pull that sword out and I ran.
Oh, man. Oh, this is the beginning without no sword. Yeah, I died too.
I jumped out the top of his head. I realized it was taking life away. So I was like, all right, I'm going to keep doing this until he died. And then his homegirl came up with a whole nother sword and he was beefier than he was. And I was like, going to be a lot of head jumping. And I head jumped my ass right off the mountain.
Well, like you said, we don't really have any perk or anything like that. Like, this isn't necessarily like the RPG kind of Dark Souls kind of game. This is like more of an action kind of thing. Right. Today I discovered that you can actually have your own moves and stuff like that. Because I thought it was just dry. Like, you're just playing it as some guy with a sword that you can just do any of his moves. But you can actually customize it to a certain extent. Yeah, the game is, and even with that little bit of customization, the game is... It kind of does it in a way where it makes it worth it. Because you get to a point where you're kind of getting, just when you're kind of getting the feel of doing the little minute things, all of a sudden, oh, bam, the game just kind of throws something else at you. So it could be a new skill. It could be you learning the shurikens, or you making a mistake trying to change your arm piece and you accidentally press up on a D-pad and drink your own goddamn, gourd or whatever. And so I went like,
I'm still shocked at certain things. I still get jumpy at certain things in this game because games like this are fairly intense games, right?
Yeah, they are.
You know, I don't want to keep comparing it to Dark Souls, but it's kind of the only thing you got for a game of that caliber.
That comes from the same developer that
right.
takes the same theme, the same mechanics, just probably switches it around enough.
Right.
I think that's one of the best things about this game is they switch it around just enough, and like it's not straight on an RPG. It's that action kind of thing. But they don't go too in depth with it. But I'm not worried about the fact that they don't go in depth with the character customization, the fact that you can change your weapon and you can customize all that stuff. I'm just hyped about the fact that they did enough for me to stay interested in the game.
Yes, and they did so well. I'm still interested. Like, I still have to kind of force myself to put the game in because I know once I the difficulty to the game kind of intimidates you sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially if you just had one of those moments where, all right, I just died like 3 times in a row. I can't, there's a certain part you're stuck on.
Yeah.
And then you take it out, you put something, I'm gonna play something else, I'm gonna give it a break. And then you kind of look down like, man, I want to play more Sekiro. But then you look at your CD and you kind of be like, think about all them times you just had, all that sin you just lost, all them girls you drunk down for nothing, all the resurrections you wasted.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like,
I don't know about
play
that.
this a little bit longer
because there's a thing that just like in all, because it takes the similar themes in every Dark Souls, Bloodborne, any Souls kind of game. Is like the dark rot thing. Dragon rot. Okay, yeah. Dark rot is Hellblade. Dragon rot is like what the people all around you are getting sick and they're dying and stuff like that. That's a lot like your player getting hollow.
Yeah.
In Dark Souls. So when you start dying a lot, you're like, oh my god, I gotta quit dying. But there has to be a way you can revive all of them. But it seems like it's gonna be at the end of the game when it happens.
So I just kind of got to that point. Emma, I haven't gotten to the mission, but she was explaining how the Dragon Rot works, and she was saying that, hey, there's basically I'm researching a way to get it done, and I'm assuming you're going to have to deal with somebody that's infected already. Yeah. Like I'm not saying like it's somebody like the sculptor. It's probably gonna be. I'm almost positive it's out in the game.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I've only ran into 3 infected people. So if I had to guess, it would probably be the older lady or it would be her son who's laying next to her. Yeah. So you probably got to deal with something like that. Take some sort of sample from him or some shit. I'm just guessing. But and from there, as the game progresses, you probably get to heal.
Yeah, and like you were saying, the game takes a while to actually start explaining what the hell is going on and what everything is in the game. So hopefully, like in the long run, when you know exactly what you're doing, the game is really smooth and still kind of takes its place.
Yeah,
in that way.
It's not easy, but it's just enough sprinkle of difficulty to where you can stay immersed. You won't find yourself just kind of forgoing sneak just because I can take this guy if I just rush R1 him, because a lot of them cats run up, you try to smash R1 on them and they'll start just kind of going through your cuts, and you're like, okay, I'm pretty sure I was just slamming my sword on your weapon and you just gonna death move me or whatever. So and it's a few of those bosses, man. They all got death moves. Like, those are the most intimidating.
Those are nasty death moves. They take just about to the inch of your life, and you're like, what the hell do I do now? Yeah. The funny thing about the stealth that you were talking about was like the fact that they actually implemented it in this kind of game, because they haven't been, like, stealth has not been in Bloodborne, any other Souls game. Even though it's not deep, it's useful. Really useful in this game, and I find it actually a lot easier in a lot of ways, because especially when you're trying to get back to a boss that you died from, like, you're like, all right, let me just kind of maneuver around a little bit, and it makes it a lot easier. And I like the assassinations that happen.
And I think one thing about this game I really got to get used to, I'm still kind of getting used to it now. So in most games, I like to be in the midst of battle. I like to be that guy out there that's swinging. I got defense cool. I'm the tank. Yeah. I like to be out there doing shit. But in this game, you have to remember, you are a shinobi. You cannot go out and just swing for the fences. All it don't take but a handful of licks, good licks to the back of your face, and you going down. Yeah. So it might feel kind of cowardice at first, but sometimes, man, you got to L2 and feel like Spider-Man and get the hell out of there.
Matter of fact, good way into that. Let's talk about the fighting and the invading.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, the fighting, I love it. Like, it's like you got to think, like, if Ghost of Tsushima isn't this good, Ghost of Tsushima might as well not come out.
Yeah, might as well.
Because this game, I'm always thinking in the back of my mind, is Ghost of Tsushima like this? Because it's so, that samurai thing, it's so disciplined and rooted to the ground. Yeah. And it's like, all right, you know, waiting for that enemy to make a move, and what are you going to do next? And you got to know exactly what's going on. And then the invading is, and the way you traverse the world in this game is amazing with the, what is it necessarily called, though?
What's that?
The claw that comes out.
Grapple hook?
The grapple hook, yeah. Okay. Now that makes you feel like Spider-Man.
It does make you feel.
It makes you feel like Spider-Man.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 from software. It does, because like you can jump and do it, and then before you hit the ground, you can do it again.
Yep.
And it's like, oh my god,
like, oh, this is cool.
Great, because the other Dark Souls games are so rooted, you can't even jump really. So it's like, oh man, this is sick.
Now let me ask you a simple question. Did you know we could sprint?
No.
Yeah, if you hold the circle button, she will just take off.
Oh no! See, I'm about to be running. A lot more.
See, that's what got me, because that's kind of what got me. Because at first I wasn't running that much because I was like, I can't get away from these people.
I kept hitting R3.
Yeah,
or
like,
L3.
There's nothing you can really like. I'm sitting up here ducking and going on trying to get away, and nothing's happening. You know, the best you got is jumping, and even with grapple hooking, it's not something you could just freely do. Because it'll tell you, they're usually little circles, right? Yeah. That'll kind of show you, all right, you got a grapple hook in this direction. But there's also another circle around said circumference that kind of shows you how far you are, or how close you are.
That's right.
You obviously can't get there. You can't grapple hook until it's green. And so even with that, it's a strategic move where it's like, okay, I got all these enemies. If shit get real, I need to make sure I got.
I'm over here in this area.
I am here. I see the circle. If it gets real, I can just Spider-Man up out of there, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll be right up under it and it still won't activate because you have to. It might be too high at that point. And the circle might be just about full. Right. So sometimes you got to jump, and he can only double jump if you touch a building, a wall rather. Yeah. So it's not even a double jump. It's more of a wall jump.
Yeah. That's true.
And you have to grab the ledge. Like, he don't just grab on his own. You have to
do it yourself. Yeah.
And if you miss time, he will fall back down, and you might fall right to your death, just right into the middle of something ugly. So everything about the game, even though it's based largely around timing, a lot of the game is still so strategic. You still have to think, and that keeps you on your toes. And I think that's what I like most. I'm always wondering what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, when I tried to run from the spear dude, I fell. I fell over the bridge, and I was like, I'm dead. He went in the water, and he just kind of floated up, and I was like,
wow.
Okay, all right, I'm still here. So, I go to swimming, and eventually, green circle, bam, I'm right back in there.
Yeah.
Let me heal real quick, and meanwhile, dude's looking down there like, so when you come down, I'm gonna put the spear up your ass. Right? So even though you went a tree and you got away, you still got to think about. You just kind of taking a deep breath. You're like, all right, I'm gonna come back down.
How do we get out of this?
What am I gonna do here? Do I want to rush him? Do I want to try it again and live to fight another day? So you're constantly thinking, and you can't even just take off running and just keep running, because you might run into something you ain't killed yet. You got to think about whether or not you healed and rested, and it's just so much thought. But it's not overwhelming thought.
That's right. Yeah, I think overall I am very impressed with this game.
And I ain't even finished.
You ain't even finished?
We ain't even finished.
I know. I wasn't. I'm just saying. I'm very impressed with how Sekiro is going. I recorded some gameplay today. I was getting dubs. I was whooping ass all over the place. I was whooping so much ass. And you was talking about how you was trying to wail on some people. I don't know if it's because how far I am. But I can actually like wail on the regular enemies, and like they like break their shit, and then you do your execution stuff. Yeah. So I love that about the game a lot, because in Dark Souls it would come few and far between your death kills and stuff like that. Like I said, the stealth is not the greatest, but it's good enough to where I know how to work it and be like, okay, well, I can maneuver around this certain area before I go to the actual boss. But this game is unforgiving in so many ways.
It is unforgiving in a few handful of ways. I mean, if you just move wrong, you get your ass kicked in the head by a chicken. And I think one of my favorite things about this game so far is the discovery of new enemies that I keep running into.
That's right.
Because, you know, you get comfortable with the regular samurai, and then you might get the occasional mini-boss samurai, the heavy guard, the heavy dude. And then, excuse me, out of nowhere, wolves. And you're like...
But they're one hits. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're one hits,
you got shurikens, you can just, you know...
you can just knock them off.
And then you're good, right? And then, well, here comes this ogre.
Oh,
and you're like... We got ogres,
and we seen two types of them. We saw the one with the big old hammer, and
that's
then
just
the one...
a regular dude. Yeah, just
that's dope.
He's clearly an ogre, but he's not as threatening.
Let's talk about the prosthetic shinobi.
I was just about to get to that.
Let's get to that. That is dope. That is the dopest part of this game.
That is probably the dopest part of the game because the thing about these prosthetics is that it's not just something you can. Even with the prosthetics, you understand why they're there, but you also have, due to the emblems, which are basically, I guess, like little anchors or crosses that you get.
It's something like that.
And, you know, it basically comes with you killing enemies. The more you progress, and the more successful you are at battle, basically, the more you can rejuvenate. So the thing about that is that you can only carry 15.
That's right. And
each prosthetic use that you use takes away at least 3.
Yeah.
And so each blast of what did we start off with? The Ninja Shuriken prosthetic. That's the first one.
That's the one where you shoot the ninja stars.
Yes, and the ninja stars are useful unless the enemy sees them coming. And at that point, they're just kind of like, bing, 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 bing.
Yeah.
Like, all right, that's
you know the best time to use them. It's dope to use them is when, you know, of course, when you weave a move and then you just throw it kind of out of nowhere. You just dude's like, oh, I shouldn't have did that. I shouldn't have did that. Have you got the flamethrower?
I have gotten.
That is the most gangsters move in the whole. Cause he's just. It's like that. What?
You don't get to do, but I did get, like I was saying, you only use it so many times.
Yeah, it's true.
And I did get fucked up because I got overzealous and I was like, I'm gonna bust your out with this.
You blowing smoke this time, literally.
Oh no! Where is the grapple?
And then they have the axe, the one we have.
Oh,
that's the third one that we gotten so far, and that's like a heavy weapon.
I didn't care about that axe at all until I got it and realized what it was really for. So it's not so much for just doing big damage because it's not a damage weapon.
Yeah,
it does one or two things. If you use it at the right time, it can break the enemy's posture or at least damage it, and shields. They're regular guys, but if they have a shield and you don't use that axe, it makes it a world of hell. Yeah. And like I think has only been 2 encounters where I've dealt with guys with shields so far. I died. Without the axe, I died.
Well, like, is there any way to kill them without an axe? You haven't found out.
Like, you can, but you'll probably go through your resources trying. Yeah. Because
that axe does a lot of damage and a lot of havoc.
The axe just busts the shield down.
Yeah, it's like gone.
So at that point, they're just a death mark at that point. So I was like, they made everything.
And it opens up the enemy to a death kill.
Yes.
That's the best part.
And like, I like every single thing, every single prosthetic has, I love the fact that they each have such a unique use. And you can only use them so many times. So they literally are going, hey, you got this to help you. Not to beat the game, but to help you get progress through the game. Yeah. But you cannot rely on this. So at some point, you must get down and, you know, battle. Yeah. And I'm starting to learn to not rely on them as much, but I use them where I can. And
I hate that.
So like just the way everything flows when you get used to it, man, it's so rewarding. Yeah, it is. It's so unforgiving, but at the same time, once you get it done, you're like, all right. And even though it's the same animation we get on the stealth kill, just getting them the way you have to get them sometimes, because you might run up on one and take him out, and then you completely didn't see this dude over here with this gun, and he blasts you in the back of the neck, and you're like...
And those hurt a lot.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
It's super rewarding when you find out, okay, I did like a stealth kill here, nobody saw me, go to another one, and you just cleared out the whole space. Yes. Like, it's really awesome in that way. Like I said, it's not... Well, like you said, it's not this perk thing, but it's great that they have it and they implemented it well into this game. Yeah. Because, like, I think everything works together, like, especially with, like, hiding on the ledge. Like, I used, like, there was, like, a moment, I'll probably put it up on the screen now. I was like, I was in the flowers, and then I just jumped off the ledge. I was kind of on the edge, went on the other side, and was able to stealth kill somebody. So you start figuring those things out.
And the little intricacies of what you can do. It's an easily learned as far as like control wise. It's an easy setup, but the skill ceiling is also there.
That's right.
And you can obviously tell. First of all, you're going to die. If this is not.
If you played any Dark Souls game, you're gonna die.
You should already know at this point you're going to die.
Yeah.
If you don't believe that, watch the latest My Ninja playthrough I did. You'll find out. Yeah, with me playing, you'll find out. But like, and the thing about it is that once you die, it's like even then you die, you're like fuck, because the deaths they hurt. It's not something you can just press X and restart at the latest save point, man. It's like.
Even though you do get that one resurrect.
Yeah, like that. It's so important. Like everything in the game is so important. There's nothing unimportant in the game. And that right there for me is where the challenge is. And that gets my gears, keeps my gears rolling. I'm like, let's go. Let's keep going. Can the game not end?
To describe the difficulty, I feel like Sekiro does a lot of things to make the game easier, but it's still hard.
Yeah.
I've never seen Resurrect in any From Software game this way, and it's just really easy. You just R1. I think you have to have like that circle at the bottom of everything to have that up, but for the most part, it's always up. And the stealth and the fact that the death kills happen so much, and they just one hit you, they're done.
Yeah.
The fact that they do all that, it's still a hard game. And I feel like those things make the experience a little bit easier, but it's still hard for some reason. So I think this game is, I might even put the tweet up when I was saying like this, me and Mac have a mutual agreement that this is probably going to be one of the games of the year, one of the nominees.
Yeah, like this game does something, it's so good. And then like, it's so good, it actually makes me look at Ghost of Tsushima whenever it comes out, and I'm like,
your turn, sucker punch.
You better you better bring it, sir.
Yeah.
Like, and I can already imagine this dude is a shinobi, so he's the stealth thing that's this game.
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima, he's an actual Ronin. He's a samurai, so he's not going to be doing the flashy jumps. He's not going to be the speed guy. He's going to be disciplined stuff. Yeah, he's going to be a discipline. It's going to be actual blade mechanics in that game, but that's another topic. Don't even get me started with that. But back to the topic at hand.
Well, okay, so we haven't even talked about the story at all.
I'm sorry, what happened?
We're gonna get off YouTube. They're gonna be like, violence on the
I got a little carried away, my bad.
So with the story, we'll leave off on the story. I am playing the game in full Japanese with subtitles, and I find it more. I told you, I find it more immersive, more awesome, just to be shinobi, and I'm like, yeah, this is some good stuff.
Look, if there is a scene in there where he fighting, and all I hear is lose it. I'm gonna lose it. I'm sadly playing in English. I haven't switched over yet.
Okay. So, well, his name isn't Sekiro. I learned that real quick. It's
contrary to popular belief, it is not Sekiro.
It's not Sekiro.
I'm still trying to figure out what Sekiro even is right now.
Exactly. He's trying to find a princess that was taken from him by, what's his name? Kiro.
The homie that took his arm.
Yeah, he took.
I'm talking about wasn't nothing we could do about it.
Yeah.
I was salty as hell.
That was left hand, right? Left hand?
Yeah, all right. Left hand.
Let's hope he's only right-handed. So, masturbation joke. So, I don't know how I feel about the story. I feel like everything else surrounding the story is better. How what's the name of the woman you just said?
Emma?
Emma, yeah. How she's trying to figure out a cure for the for the dragon rot. And all that stuff, I think that's more important, or not more important, but more interesting than the regular, I just took your princess, Mario and Peach kind of thing.
The story is surprisingly basic, isn't it? You're basically just this guy going around trying to, like, it's the easy.
We don't know, at this moment, we don't know the wolf's backstory a little bit. Not really. You're learning context throughout the story, like the guy saying he saw him at that estate. So I mean, you're learning a little bit, but it's like, why does this guy have silver hair and bloody as hell, and he has this amazing Japanese voice? It's like, what's up?
Yeah,
and he's gonna kick your ass.
In English, he sounds like what? I got the voice in my head. It's a Naruto character. The voice.
The voice can. Oh yeah, the voice would completely change.
The English voiceover, he sounds. God, gee, it'll come to me. Yeah. I can't think of who he sounds. He's just got this real. It's a real smooth, low tone voice though, almost like a not quite Sasuke. Gaara is who he sounds like. He sounds like Gaara. So he's really monotone. He doesn't really have much emotion in his English voice.
That would probably break the game for me.
Yeah, none of them do. Yeah. I mean, Emma sounds sincere about certain things, especially like Dragon Rot. But
I bet you if I heard her voice, it would sound a lot like the girl from because Emma, what she is, they always have a woman that helps you upgrade your stuff like that.
Right.
So I wonder if it's the same girl that does the same voices.
I don't know, but I'm switching to Japanese tonight, so I'm gonna find out. Because now I'm
Japanese in the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm switching to the like I got subtitles now, so I'm good. I can see what's going on from there. But
it's good, dude. I really like it.
Oh, I believe it. I was kind of hoping customization wise that you would be able to maybe get a different sword, but his sword has meaning.
Yeah.
So it's not a regular sword. I can't. Is it Kusabama?
It's something like that.
Something like that.
It's something near like that.
But so normally when somebody out here naming a sword, you ain't getting another one. So. It is what it is.
And you did have to kind of stealth your way to that sword.
Right.
And it was given by a princess that for some reason has meaning.
Yeah, and that little dude, so I found out there is a bit of a twist. He, I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, actually.
Oh, the person that they took?
Yeah, I think he's a prince.
Oh, wow.
But either way, they're not after him just because, he's a prince. They're after him because apparently this dragon blood he is heir to the dragon blood or something like that.
That's right. The dragon heritage.
Yeah, and Wolf also he has this heritage running through his blood running through him as well, which is why when he dies too much, the people he knows they get sick. Apparently something with and metaphorically the I don't know, what is it, like a pot or something? It overflows after too many resurrections. So it's not that he's dying, it's the fact that it is that he's dying, but it's his resurrections that are causing this thing to overflow. Yeah. And when it seeps and it overflows, people get sick. Yeah. Basically.
Right.
So
it's typical from Software Dark Souls stuff. Typical.
You know what? I wonder if we let I wonder if we let ourselves die and not resurrect, if that would kind of slow down Dragon Rot, because we're not resurrecting, we're just dying. But I'm not finna try it.
Hey, this could turn into some other kind of thing. But last final thoughts on Sekiro: Shadows Die Too Much, apparently, between me and you.
And Kasandra.
And Kasandra dying twice.
Gotti
potential,
man. Gotti potential.
Yeah, I think so too.
Ghost of Tsushima has to come with it.
Yeah, you got to come with it. And it's like with Sucker Punch and how the infamous games have went, it's like as if it's too much like that. Yeah. I don't know what they shown of Ghost of Tsushima. It looks like maybe just a little bit beefed up version of Sekiro, but it's like Sekiro has set the tone.
Sekiro is I'm hoping we get once we actually beat the game, that we got some sort of new game plus. Because I would not mind going through that again. Yeah, that is it is a fantastic game. Although I am rightfully confused by the one dude who just is okay with being used as a striking dummy at the beginning of the game. Yeah. He's just like, hey, if you want to practice your sword techniques,
and when you kill him, he's just like he comes back to life,
raises back up, and I'm just like, so you're okay with just he can't feel pain, right? Because ain't no way I'm finna keep letting you stab me in the neck with this sword. Yeah. And I just raise up. Funny thing about resurrection though, I think it's such a crazy skill to use, because even when you use it and he raises up, the enemy kind of walks off, right? When you're dead. As soon as you raise up, the enemy's just turns around and slowly pulls his sword. I figured you was gonna hit that button. I figured you was gonna hit that button, motherfucker. I figured you was gonna do it.
Yeah. So, they waiting for you too. They're like, go ahead and hit R1. Go ahead. I'm gonna duke your ass one more time, because Shadows died twice, bitch.
Yeah, because I hit that R1 button, I go right off in the grappling hook, right off in the tree.
Yeah, I'd be like,
that. All right. Okay. What now?
Well, I've been Curtis Russell with My Ninja Gaming. This has been
Sir Mackleton Fauntleroy III Esquire.
And you guys heard our amazing I guess, opinion on Sekiro. Shadows Die Twice, and this has been the meal.
This has been the full course meal.
The full course meal.
And we hope that holds y'all until the next time we start cooking.
I like that. We'll check y'all later. All right, peace.